You mentioned something about the Amazon effect.
Yeah, so the Amazon effect, I see this a lot of times with people, and I'm just as guilty as anybody else. When you're buying things and you're trying to buy it online, and maybe your brain is so programmed to pull it up, find two products that you deem equal, and you buy the cheaper one. That mentality doesn't work with insurance. There's so many different nuances in coverages and fine print, if you want to call it that, endorsements, things that are added on, taken away, that even an insurance professional, an agent, somebody doing this 15 years, I have to slow down every single time I'm reading this, read every single line, make sure I know exactly the way certain quotes are worded up, because every single company is trying to remain profitable. And if they can take this coverage off or that coverage off, and that exposes them a little bit less and ultimately affects their bottom line positively because they took away coverage, but that impacts you when it goes to buy a new roof or there's a water damage or something along those lines, then it hits your pocketbook and not in a good way.
And you don't find out till it's too late. And
Exactly.
and when you were kind of breaking the seal for me on this, you used an analogy that really helped me kind of soak it in such a short amount of time, comparing it to something a lot of us have done multiple times in buying a car and deciding between, the base model and that next model up. And
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of times you go to the mentality that people have is they look at two things and they assume they're the same, right? A red Camaro, there's two red Camaros. And from the outside, they're both red Camaros. One of them's 20,000, one of them's 30,000. But when you buy the cheaper one, you get in it, you realize, oh, it's the V6. It's not the Super Sport. It's the cloth interior. It's not leather. It doesn't have navigation or a sunroof. The same is similar with insurance policies. You don't really realize, the average consumer doesn't realize what they're buying, or more importantly, what they're giving up and not buying, because they're just going simply off a price. And then whenever they have a claim, then they're paying out big bucks because they didn't click a box or check a box or make sure they have this coverage or that coverage. They didn't know any better because they think they can do it on their own, because we're all trained to do it online, find it online, buy the cheapest one and go on. You can't do that with insurance. That's how you really get